I really enjoyed it. Right, this is some people might think it's a weird thing to say, but if you're a martial artist, it's like I see that wonderful shirt you're wearing. If I got invited to go and have a kickabout with the boys at Arsenal, like I'm going to do it, right? Just because it's MMA, like MMA is the world that I enjoy. So if you say let's get on the mat with someone and do some rounds with them, I'm like, I can't offer you much, but I mean, I'm only going to learn from this experience. So, but then other things come into it. So I'm not a complete novice, but then you know what Khamzat's like, and I go into it knowing I've got very little to offer him. Right? I'm not in there to win. I'm not in there to get a. I mean, yes, I'm going to try for a submit. I'm under no illusion that it's going to be a bad round for me. Mm-hmm. But then the way you enter that, and people that grapple know this, like you touch, you go. But if you go in like super hard and you start trying to like go super aggressive, then as the guy who's naturally worse, then the guy who's better, if he doesn't like, I'm also in his room, I'm on his mat. Yep. If I approach it with that energy, then he's like, oh, you want to do that? Fine, I can do that. And all of a sudden he puts it on you even harder. Yep. But what was quite funny for me was I kind of went in a bit gently, like, oh, I'm just going to go in a little. And all of a sudden I'm dragged in, like I'm in a bad spot. I'm like, oh, well, I shouldn't do that again. And I even said that to him last when we were doing the round. Like I kept getting arm dragged somewhere from leap because I was going in a bit too, it was just a bit too timid. Yeah. And but what I would say is, I'm often put in a lot of bad positions. I've been around a long time, and I'm quite defensive in the end, but I can get out of stuff. I'm okay at getting out of things. I can survive a little bit. I couldn't survive against him. I mean, things that I would do against black belts, which would just give me a little bit more time. Right. Just a little few more seconds. They might not get me with that one. They've probably already got something lined up.
You're just delaying the inevitable.
Exactly that. But I couldn't even get out of the first one with Khamzat. Like everything, he's so strong, and his execution of stuff was so very tight that I was like, holy shit, like this is horrible. And he was getting me with some champagne submissions as well. He's like he got. I don't know if he got me the banana split, but he's like calf slicer, biceps. He was doing some horrible, gnarly stuff. The horrible man, but I enjoyed it. And then going around the room and seeing how he affects that whole room. I was speaking with Volkan Özdemir recently. Yeah, and he's in there. He's a light heavyweight guy. He's got Alexander Gustafsson on the mat. Who's done everything in the sport bar, get a belt in his waist. And as much as he enjoys working with him, he was mentioning the work ethic of Khamzat, and you can't help but as your ego, you're like, I'm a top level fighter too. If he's doing it, I'm doing it. And I'm not used to doing what he's doing. He's coming out of it going, Jesus, that guy can work hard. So that just gives you an idea of he is obviously the real deal, but he works for it. And that's why he's able to strut his stuff the way that he does.